I just thought like I really would like to live abroad or travel, and I
Mhm.
really like Korean music and food. So I looked up like how it would be possible to live here,
Mhm.
and that's how I found like in teaching English in Korea. But a lot of schools they look for like someone who's like looking.
Yeah, I've heard. My sister actually taught in China for a year, taught English, and I guess since she's Chinese, a lot of the students didn't really understand that she was American.
Mm.
Apparently, like other schools where she had friends teaching at, like she had a black friend who had to dye his hair blonde, otherwise he would be fired.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was that level of, I don't know, weird stereotyping. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Venture Casually podcast. Today, we have on with us my girlfriend, Wendy Magoo,
Hello.
and my very good friend over in South Korea, Amy Hang. Welcome to have you with us.
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
This is very exciting.
Yeah.
How are things going over there?
All right.
Yeah.
It's about 1:34 a.m. right now.
I'm so sorry to keep you up so late because
Oh, I mean,
the time zone difference.
yeah, but I mean, things are all right. It's the weekend and I don't really do much nowadays because of Corona, but things are getting better here actually.
Yeah.
How about in America?
Over in Philly, it's kind of the same. A lot of stuff is going on with like politics, and Corona's still a thing here. So,
Yeah,
mostly sitting at home and doing this podcast stuff is taking up most of our time, or working.
at least you're keeping busy.
I try to. Otherwise, it's just being really lazy.
Yep.
And there's not much to do anyway.
So, before you were studying for like a music industry career, right?
Do you want like the whole story?
Yeah. So, like, starting from college, what were you actually going for?
Going into college, I actually declared my major as biology major.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it wasn't a good fit for me, and I really like like music a lot. I kind of had a passion for that, and I thought I just want to do anything related to music. So my college had the option of like music industry studies or music business, and that's what I went into. But I didn't go into that until like changing my major 3 times. So first I
Oh.
went in, yeah, I went in as a bio major, and then I didn't really like that, and I wasn't doing too well in it. And then I changed to I think biochem, but I didn't really like that either. And then I decided to double major in chem, I think biochem and music business, so I can have like I don't know the best of both worlds.
Oh my god, that's stacking so much though.
It's, but it's like the total opposite. And my advisor even asked me like, what am I gonna do with a biochem major and music business?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I really had to like think about what I wanted to do career wise or in my future.
Got to genetically engineer some pop dance groups.
Possibly. I thought it'd be cool to work in a lab, but yeah, and then I finally changed it to digital media and music business. So I can do like pretty much like anything related to media, like social media or like in marketing or like graphic design and yeah, just anything in the music industry. That's what I was uh, kind of working towards. Um, and then, yeah, I think that was junior year, or like beginning of junior year, where I finally declared digital media and music business. And then I did an internship at my radio station, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Um, That's about it. I was pretty lost, even like up to senior year. Um, yeah, I didn't really know what to do, and that's
What would you want to do in the music industry, say the opportunity comes? What is your dream aspiration?
Working for Blackpink.
Being a part of Blackpink
no, not being a part.
in
Like,
your area.
I don't think I can be in the spotlight, as ironic as that sounds, like as being like a teacher, like in the center of attention. But like the reason why I wanted to work like in the music industry was to do like the behind the scenes stuff, because I feel like behind like every like successful artist or musician, there's like really powerful team or a group of supporters. I would really love to do anything related to music, like working on like soundboard. I'll be fine with that, like in the venue, or like marketing or managing an artist or anything like tour related. That would be fun, or like creating album covers.
Mm.
Like, yeah, anything music related really. I just want to be like working with music all the time. I just really love music,
Mm-hmm.
and like living in South Korea because I
Mhm.
love traveling. So um yeah, I just prepared for this, and I've been living here since I graduated.
That's crazy because you graduated what when you were like 22, I would say, right?
22.
And then you've been living there since now you're 25.
Yeah, 25. So I moved here in August 2017, and I graduated May 2017.
Wow.
August 2017. So 3 years, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't plan to stay for this long. I was thinking at least 2 years, because I thought 1 year wouldn't be enough to like experience um, living here or life here. And then, yeah, I thought just 2 years would be good. Then I was planning to come back to America um, this this past summer actually, but because of COVID, I decided it'd be better to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know when I'll be coming back.
I mean, well, you traveled a lot throughout the years, haven't you?
Kinda, I wouldn't say a lot, just a few.
Because
Um,
before you traveled to Ireland, right? Back in your college years.
yeah, I did. That was part of a course that I took. Um, it was like a traditional arts in Ireland course, learning everything about arts in Ireland. And then um, we spent 2 weeks in Ireland with like the whole class. And that was like right after my graduation. So the main reason I actually took that class was so I could travel abroad, so I could travel to Ireland, and I kind of like treated that as my graduation gift. And it was really fun. So the first week in Ireland, we stayed in the city, Dublin, uh, just like experience the city part, and then the next week we went over to an island and experienced like the countryside, and it was really like serene, relaxing, really nice to be in. The food there is really good as well. Fish and chips is really nice to have that. I really do wish I could travel more, but I have limited vacation days.
In like so many different countries, right?
So the first country that I visited on my first vacation was Hong Kong, and I loved it so much. It actually felt so comfortable. Actually, it felt like home, honestly, because I I speak Cantonese, and just being surrounded by people who speak Cantonese, it kind of felt like home, and like kind of miss my family. And also the food there is really good. I miss Cantonese food.
Hmm.
And The second country that I went to was Japan, I think. Yeah, Japan. And then third was Thailand, and then Singapore.
What are the best places that you visited, or like the best experiences that you got from traveling? Like top
Ooh,
three.
top three. I feel like that's difficult because every country that I've been to, I've had like pretty amazing experiences. Um, hmm. I mean, one I think it would be Hong Kong. Um, oh man, this is hard.
Oh, well, you don't have to really constrict yourself to the number.
I mean, yeah, just like the food at in every country is amazing.
Hmm.
I would definitely recommend going to Singapore and trying their chili crab. It's really good. Really
Ooh,
expensive, but really good if you like seafood. Yeah.
hell yeah.
Like traveling in each country, the people there were really nice. So that was a good part of the experience as well. And just like being surrounded by different food and people and the culture and experiencing something new is just um, something that I enjoy being in.
So I'm thinking about food because I have that mind on that chili crab.
I love talking about food.
You and me both. Actually, all three of us.
Yes.
Food is amazing. So, do you remember what the international food here in like Philly is? How does that compare to like pad thai from Thailand or
Maybe because I'm like in that country, I'm like, wow, this is more authentic. It's better.
mm,
But if you're eating it, if you're yeah, you're eating it like at an authentic place in Philly, then I think they're pretty similar. But I also think that being in the country and eating the food, it's the ingredients are more like fresh.
now on the flip side of that, have you had any American food from these countries and then you were like
America does it better.
Hmm. There are some pretty
Lunchables.
good burger places here though. Lunchables. I don't have Lunchables here.
You're missing out. Where's the Wawa?
Oh my gosh, I actually miss Wawa.
You know, because if you said you didn't miss Wawa, we would have to end this call right here.
So rude. So rude.
I do miss Wawa.
Meanwhile, if you tell him they're removing all the 7-Elevens in Japan, he will never go back.
Yeah, the 7-Eleven in Japan are actually they're not even 7-Eleven. They're 7 I Holdings. So, you know,
Actually, the convenience stores here are really nice. Like they're really good, like packaged or fresh foods. Yeah, you can eat like a whole meal at a convenience store.
I was gonna ask, besides food as your motivation to travel, what really drove you to try and discover these new countries? Because for us, we haven't even left the country yet.
I don't know. I just love like experiencing new places and new cultures. 'Cause I feel like the world is so big, so why not like discover it and just learn new things and just be more open minded.
Hmm. Is it worth the money though? Because, in the end, everyone's worried about how much dollars they're spending.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it definitely helps living in South Korea. I'm so much closer to other Asian countries, so it's not too expensive for me.
Hmm.
But yeah, it definitely is more expensive if you're traveling from like America. Yeah. But Wendy, have you ever traveled like outside of America before?
The only time where it's happened is on a family cruise to Halifax, Canada. And let's just say it felt like it was still America when we got off dock. So I wouldn't consider leaving the country at that point because it's like you're just stuck with the same people and you're just walking around. There's no like interactions with historical places or, I didn't really get to absorb anything while I was there.
I see. Actually, I think Canada was like the first place where I like was like I love traveling and I want to keep doing it. And I think I also went with my family. It was probably like in elementary school, but I just thought it was really nice seeing a new place.
Yeah, because when I think about traveling to Canada, I also think about family vacations, and I was kind of bored because I was in Toronto and I've been there a couple times. So I think maybe because it was a family vacation that it kind of like took the fun out of it for me. I think if I were to go there just like us, we would be able to find more things to do as adults with our own income and freedom.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think just being an adult and just having the ability to do what you want when you want it kind of makes traveling more fun.
Right. Yeah. I love solo traveling. Like I love the freedom and independence I get when I'm traveling by myself and just like meeting new people. Yeah, and like I don't really have to like wait on anyone when I'm going around by myself. So that's what I enjoy about solo traveling too.
When I think about it, it's kind of like a an intimidating experience being all on your own in a completely different country. You know,
Yeah.
do you still get that feeling? Or did you get that feeling?
Not really, because like I kind of mentally prepare myself, and like you just gotta have common sense on how you should be careful, how you should put yourself out there when you're like walking around. Um, and just like I don't know, for me, I make sure that like when I'm walking around or going somewhere that I'm not like completely alone or in an alleyway. Yeah.
Smart.
Mm, and also I kind of do like research on how to be like a safe solo traveler, especially as like a female solo traveler as well.
Right.
You gotta like, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, we have to fear for the worst, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like, what kind of resources did you use?
For example, I guess like Thailand, I would Google like how safe is it to travel there as a solo traveler. And actually, Thailand is really like tourist friendly. They get a lot of tourists, so it wasn't too bad. Even though I did get scammed by a taxi driver. I was with
Oof.
a friend though, and we
Mm-hmm.
both got scammed by a taxi driver. We were trying to get back to our hotel late at night, and like, he took like the longer route, like to make the pay rate go up.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like looking at the map on our phone and seeing like the route that he was taking, and we noticed. So we told him to like stop and like let us out and just paid for like whatever um cost that stop was.
Mm-hmm.
You just really have to do your research because there is a lot of resources out there actually.
I'm pretty sure you have your own resource out there on the internet with your travel blog, right?
Uh, kind of. I haven't really touched it in a while, and the only post that I have is about Hong Kong. And I've been to like so many other places, so I really do need to update that.
Honestly, I hope you do because when I was keeping my eye on it, it was very well done, very inclusive and what was the word? Immersive.
Thanks.
How did you discover like teaching for abroad? Was that just something that you found as a part of like a school program or something that was offered?
I don't really remember. It's been a while, but I just thought like I really would like to live abroad or travel, and I
Mhm.
really like Korean music and food. So I looked up like how it would be possible to live here,
Mhm.
and that's how I found like in teaching English in Korea, and then there were like YouTube videos of people explaining how they got here. So that's how I started that process.
How was the process for you?
It's a really long process because you have to get so many documents ready. So I started looking, I think, probably like the end of my senior year. since I was so lost and I really didn't know what to do. Like I did look at jobs related to my major, like anything like music related, but I was also like really interested in traveling. So I started looking at the end of my senior year, and I found like links of how to work here. And then that's when I started like piling up all my documents and stuff so I can send over here. But do you want to know the process of how to get here? Because it's really long, actually.
I actually kind of know that process a little bit because I was kind of doing, or I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to teach abroad in Japan with a friend of mine,
Mm.
but the I don't know like how selective the process is between Japan versus South Korea, but neither of us actually made it, and the interviews were actually kind of difficult. Like, do you remember anything about that for you?
I think it's pretty similar. So for me, I found um, like a recruiter, and they recruit people from all over the world and connect them with a school or like a academy is what we call it here, a hagwon. So I found a recruiter, and then they helped me like get all my documents together, sent over. But the job is not guaranteed, or for me, for the job that I was applying for, until I fly over here and pass training week. Well, after like, getting all the documents together, you have to fly over here and then pass that. And if you pass that, then you're good to go. But if not, then you're flying back to America.
Wow, that sucks.
That's
It's
stressful.
really stressful for me. So like I was thinking like I have to pass. I have to, but um yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually failed training week and it was really tough for me. 'Cause it's the company that I was going for, it was just kind of not the right fit for me and it was kind of strict with their curriculum. So I didn't do too well. But then um luckily, and I feel really grateful that my manager at the time still took me in and we just did more training at the school.
I'm
Yeah.
glad it really worked out for you.
Yeah, it was really stressful though. I felt like it was only for 1 week, but I felt like I don't know, it was worse than like finals week, like
Mm.
in college. And I just graduated too.
So what
So
does the training like cover?
um uh pretty much like we do mocks, like how we would teach in a classroom. So
Mhm.
during that week, we had to like memorize um, just like step by step on how to teach the material that they gave us. Yeah, so it was kind of difficult for me.
Because I've known you since high school, and
Mhm.
I didn't like foresee like you becoming a teacher because you're very like reserved and soft
Yeah,
spoken. So how does that feel to be at like the center of the stage and you know be a person of authority and knowledge?
I think a lot of people didn't expect me to be a teacher either. I didn't expect it myself actually, because I thought I don't know, I don't really like being in a classroom setting, but as a student, as a teacher, um, I don't mind being the center of attention, with kids though, because I really like working with kids. So it's not too bad for me. Um, Sometimes I wish that I can just like get paid to play with them, but they're really cute. But it's really nice teaching them as well because it's so nice and satisfying seeing them grow and like just progress, and gain knowledge through my teaching. And it's just I don't know, a wonderful experience.
Because from what I recall, teaching abroad in like uh the Asian countries, they don't allow you to speak the native language. You exclusively speak in English. but these kids don't really have that like previous knowledge. So is there difficulty communicating with them sometimes? And how do you get around it?
Well, some of them, they've learned English in, like, their public school because I work at a private, like, it's like an after school.
Hmm.
So in their public school, like, they during the day, they have English class, and even though their curriculum is, um, not that good, but they do have, like, basic skills. So when I was teaching, um, at my first job, it was okay. But a lot of times I do use, like, body language or just try to explain as best as I can with, like, smaller vocabulary. And then with the job that I'm working at now, um, work with, like, really low and beginner kids. It is really difficult communicating with them, but we just, like, I don't know, I just try my best to explain to them,
Hmm.
and then we eventually, like, get used to each other, and they also learn.
Yeah, because when I think about my experience doing the interviews for teaching abroad in Japan, one of the questions that they asked me was, how do you explain to a Japanese child the difference between the word funny and interesting? Because in Japanese, they're the same word, omoshiroi. And I was like, oh shit. Well, funny is you laugh, ha ha ha. And then the other one is very cool. And then they were like, wait, what are you saying? What are you even talking about?
That is kinda difficult to explain, um, but I don't even know how to explain that. I would have to think about it.
I was gonna ask, like, where is your like Korean like level at? Like, is it as basic as their English, or like pretty much enough to carry a conversation?
Still pretty low, I think, um, yeah, it's pretty basic. I'm still learning, so, like, on the weekends, I try to study on my own since I'm working during the week, but it's still pretty low.
How does that affect your daily life, considering that you've lived in South Korea for going on 4 years?
It does affect my life sometimes, like, when I'm going out, um, like, if I'm shopping or, like, I don't know, trying to order or buy something, I would have to, like, speak in Korean. Like, that I think I'm okay at, um, but I'm usually at work and my surrounding is, people speaking English, so I don't really get to practice Korean as
Mm.
much until the weekends when I'm, like, going out or meeting people.
Are you homesick?
Mm, not right now. Sometimes I do. I do get homesick around, like, um, holidays,
Mm.
but yeah, like Chinese New Year because I'm Chinese, and that's when, like, families gather, that's when I miss my family, like, Thanksgiving too.
How does your family feel about this whole process and you being away from home for so long?
I think they're okay with it now, but of course, they do want me to come home, but, this is kinda what I wanna do, so they're okay with it. Yeah.
How's
My
it?
mom my mom was kind of sorry. She didn't really want me to come here, but yeah, I just, like, told her, like, "I'm moving to Korea," and she didn't really believe it at first, but then, like, I showed her, like, the documents and stuff, and, like, it's really happening.
And you've come back to the States a couple times since you've been there. How was that for you?
Yeah, I've been back twice. Well, the first time I came back was for, one of my, close friends' wedding, and that was last September, and I was only back for, like, a week. It wasn't really enough time, like, to hang out, see everyone, but it was still nice. Um, yeah, it was nice catching up with people, and I don't know, I didn't really have that much of, like, a culture shock when I came back. Um,
All kind
oh,
of
but
felt the
like
same.
kind of no, but when I actually reached the airport, so JFK International Airport in New York, when I arrived, I did have a shock. It wasn't like a culture shock, but a shock. Just hearing like the security guard like yelling so loud, like move to the left or move up to the line. It's just like different from here where they will calmly tell you like please move up the line or like you know so yeah like hearing and then like also hearing English everywhere I'm like oh my gosh I'm home and and then the second time I came back to America it was actually unexpected. It was at the end of last year um when my grandpa he passed away so it was like an emergency that I came back and attended his funeral.
Condolences.
Yeah,
So sorry for your loss.
and I think that's when I started thinking about like I should maybe move back to America um and spend more time with my family but then like and that was like the beginning of this year actually and I started thinking about like coming back um like this summer but you know COVID happened and I just thought staying in Korea would be better.
Are there things about like American culture that you miss being over there that you're not experiencing?
Things that I miss.
Like, I don't know, foods or sites or things you get to do.
Yeah, I do miss like hanging out with my family and friends. American food. Oh my gosh, I miss Philly cheesesteak. I really want a good Philly cheesesteak, but it's kind of hard to find one here. Yeah, that's one thing that I do miss. Um, and I guess just like I don't know the vibe or the environment of being in Philly. It's just different.
So you majored in like towards the entertainment side. Have you pursued anything of that while you're in South Korea? Considering, you know, a lot of K-pop stuff is from South Korea.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not North Korea.
It could be.
I yeah, actually, Korean music, K-pop was one of the reasons why I decided to go for this major, like music business, and why I wanted to study it because I just love music in general. But Korean music, was kind of what like really made me want to be here. Um, and uh, I don't know if you know. I think everyone should know who they are, but Blackpink.
Yeah.
What?
They're under YG Entertainment, and this entertainment, I've been dreaming of working for them for like a really long time, but it's also like I don't know, such a like unreachable goal and dream for me. I feel like it's impossible, but
Don't say that. You gotta. Everyone has a chance.
I don't know, but yeah, it's like a dream for me to work for them. Um, but I'm gonna have to like figure out like how to get there one day. But I really do want to work for like an entertainment company.
So, like, you said that K-pop and like, or well, Korean pop culture inspired you to actually pursue something within South Korea. Like, so that means you kind of had like, you might have had expectations going in, like before actually getting there and living there. Like, did those kind of play out the way that you thought they would?
Like before moving here, I did do like research on like the, culture and just like watching videos of like what you should know before coming here. And I don't think there's that much of a difference between living here and America. Like everything is really convenient. Um, but yeah, uh, I didn't have like too many surprises.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually did study abroad here. I did an exchange program for like 1 month, my junior year, and um, just staying here for like 1 month. I just thought it would be nice to live here. Yeah. So I really had like some kind of experience of living here before actually moving here.
So you went from graduating college to traveling to all these places and then pretty much immediately moving to South Korea and living there for a couple years. Like, what kind of hurdles did you have to overcome to get to where you are to feel comfortable with it?
I don't think for me personally there's not that much of a hurdle because I'm always at work, just doing my job, and then on the weekends I hang out or just chill. And everything in Korea is convenient. And yeah, I think the only thing I would have to like overcome is communication because my Korean is still not that good. Yeah. But living here, I feel really comfortable now. It's like a second home for me. I feel so comfortable that like I don't know when I want to come back to America. The first 6 months of living in Korea was hard for me because of my first job. Um, After like failing training and then being accepted and getting more training and working there for 6 months, that was kind of tough for me, and things just didn't really work out. And that's when I found my second job that I'm still working at now, and I love it so much. I really love my boss, and I really like my school and my kids, and yeah, I just want to keep like working here, living here.
Yeah, because I remember mentioned that you had a really tough time during your first job and how stressful that was. Like, you went through a lot to try to maintain it, but ultimately you just have to find another place,
Yeah,
right?
it just wasn't the right fit for me, and it was mutual. Um, yeah, that the six first 6 months was tough and really stressful. And I actually didn't want to leave because I'm on a yearly contract, so I didn't want to leave like in the middle of the contract, but it was mutual, and I did feel like a quitter, so that's why I tried to like work harder so I didn't have to leave. But then in the end, I did leave, and I felt so much pressure off of me, and especially since I found my job that I'm working at now, I feel really grateful. I just love it so much.
Going from feeling like a quitter to like things turning up. Like, what point did you feel that things are gonna kind of be okay?
Probably right after quitting,
Hmm.
right after leaving my first job, it felt like a relief, and then finding um my second job, which I really like. But I thought like, well, things are gonna be okay, and it is okay now. Yeah,
How long was the gap between you finding that job?
I think it's within 1 month.
Hmm.
Yeah, finding it was really stressful finding a job, finding a new job here because like, it's kind of competitive, but also not that competitive because there's so many jobs here, but there are like specific things that they look for. Um, and one of the things is that a lot of schools here they look for someone who's like Caucasian, and so it's kind of harder for like um, Asians to find a job here.
Yeah.
It might be easier if you're like Korean American, but a lot of schools they look for like someone who's like looking.
Yeah, I've heard. My sister actually taught in China for a year, taught English, and I guess since she's Chinese, a lot of the students didn't really understand that she was American.
Mm.
Apparently, like other schools where she had friends teaching at, like she had a black friend who had to dye his hair blonde, otherwise he would be fired.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was that level of, I don't know, weird stereotyping.
Yeah, like I actually like had interviewers like tell me that it's gonna be harder for you because they're not looking for like someone who looks like you.
Hmm.
Yeah, a school director even told me like this is like they offered me a job, um, and then told me that it's gonna be hard for you, so you should just accept it. So I didn't accept it, of course.
Now that you're actually at a position that you enjoy and you are actually happy with, is that something that you would like? Is that something you found a desire in doing from this point on?
Yes, I mean for now, because I really do enjoy working with kids and I feel comfortable at my job, but teaching is not really something I want to do forever for a long time. I think, I mean, for now, I do plan on just staying for one more year and then see how things are in America. And we'll see after that. Because I do still want to do something related to music, but I don't know when the right time is for that.
Are you actively searching for anything at the moment in the music world?
Not at the moment, but there are times when I see like people putting out job listings, and I would be so interested and like I want to apply, I want to do it, but then I have this job now. It's not like I can just up and leave it. So I think it's more about timing and like when I can like finish this job and then move on.
So, like, say for example, if you had that opportunity come by and you were mid contract, like next year or something, how do you know that you're at the point where you want to, take the leap and forgo what you got?
I don't know. That actually has happened. Like found like job listings where I really do want to apply for it and I'm like in the middle of my contract, but I can't just leave my job right now. Um so I think that's something I have to figure out. Maybe if I finish one more year, then I'll like actively search for a music related job. But I think that's also kind of difficult if I don't find a job in a specific amount of time, since my visa is sponsored by my school. After I finish my contract, um, I have to leave within like a month. I think I would probably have to apply for like um, a job searching visa that would allow me to stay here longer. But those are things I have to figure out in the future.
That all that sounds like super complicated even for me. So, how was that experience for you to be an adult all on your own so quickly and be off on your own?
I don't know, I think I just like had to learn on my own and just do it. Um, like I moved out at 18 and lived on campus. And from then I just felt like an adult, so I had to do everything on my own. And I've always tried to not depend on my parents that much. It wasn't like a huge change from then to now.
Were there any things that because I know your parents were thinking, "Oh, Amy, don't go so far away. We won't be near, like, you won't be near us and we won't get to see you," that kind of thing.
Mm,
Maybe try to convince you
um,
not to follow this path. And like, how did you kind of bypass those feelings?
I don't know. They kind of accepted it. Like they let me do my own thing, and also like, um, teaching here, being a teacher here, it's like they see it as like a good thing. It's not like here just to play. So Um, they do want me to come home and like be closer, but this is kind of also like what I want to do, so they accepted it. They let me do a lot of things and just like let me be like let me make my own choices and be independent. So that's something I actually really appreciate. Even though like uh going into like my music business major, they were like, "What is that?" That's it's not something that's familiar to them. But with my mom, like after kind of explaining like what I want to do in that, she kind of like tried to understand. But yeah, they're. I think my parents are just really understanding.
How about your own inner demons? Like, I feel like everyone has their own pessimistic thoughts where it's like, maybe it's not worth it because there's so much unknown factors. Did you have a lot of that when deciding to make a big life change?
Yeah, like I never really thought I wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I like kids. I like working with kids. Like before coming here, I did think like maybe what if I'm not a good teacher? Um, but then it's I don't know. I try to think optimistic because I really wanted to live here and travel. So I thought I should try at least.
So really put effort into what you want.
Yeah.
So those are super good qualities to have. Like even like if you think back to how you first started out as to what you've learned along the way, like how about someone like in like past Amy shoes, like just kind of like getting your foot in the door with traveling abroad and doing all this stuff, what kind of advice would you give to make the process easier for someone who had to follow your footsteps?
I would say to just do it and just
Just
have
do it.
confidence. Yeah, I mean, I would probably say like to my younger self, to have more confidence because I always lacked confidence and I always had like low self-esteem and I always had a lot of doubts with myself and I'm really indecisive. So yeah, I would just tell my younger self to just, you know, do it, have more confidence and
And do you think all those experiences you had throughout the years kind of helped you build your confidence and your decisiveness?
a little bit. I'm still like very indecisive, but I think like living on my own and being on my own for so long, it has like helped me learn about like what I like and don't like, what I want.
Okay. Well, I think that should be it. Any closing notes from either you or Wendy?
Um, I hope 2020 gets better.
Oh, God.
Oh gosh, we should send you a song called F 2020.
I would love to listen to that.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into the Venture Casually podcast. Please go check out Amy's blog at amyhangin.blogspot.com, right?
No blogspot, just amyhangin.com.
Amy Hang In.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a pun. Like my last name is Hang, so Amy Hang, and I'm in like a country. So I'm hanging in. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then her Instagram, AmyStar630, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for being on with us. Thanks for being on, Wendy. And you get to bed because it is very late over there.
Thanks for having me, and I hope people find this interesting.
Thank you for tuning in to the Venture Casually podcast. You can find us on social media at Venture Casually. Please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode.